Hi guys, I'm Tharwa and this is my baby Diesel, and we're coming to you from my van studio where today I'm going to open my Himi gouache for the very first time, and I'd like to share that experience with you. So come on, let's mess with some gouache. I'm actually not going to use these brushes. I might as well put them away over here. I am going to use the brushes that came with the set. So what I did was I just numbered, it came with this label, and I'm numbered the way I want to have it displayed in the palette. And so we're going to use everything that came with this. We're going to use the palette that came with it. It's a little hard to take out initially because of these labels. It's kind of sandwiched in there, but once the label comes off, it's going to be easier to take the next one out. Okay, so unfortunately with this one I have to kind of open, maybe I don't have to, I can just open one. Oh boy, I thought I could do this in one go, but it's kind of hard to open these suckers. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's one. This is titanium white. So let's see if I can open it just until this ridge, so I don't open both. There is a little bit of separation I see here. I'm going to take my knife and just kind of trim this so I don't have to open both, because I don't need both whites. Where's my knife? Okay. I could have done a better job with this, huh, guys? Don't trust me with a knife. This is not good. Okay. I don't want to open that one. Okay. Yeah, I figured there'd be enough gouache on the lid to do the swatching. So, okay, I'm just going in with my clean brush. And I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I'm just taking the excess water off. And I was expecting this to be kind of jelly-like, but it's actually very creamy. I don't know if you can see, it is quite opaque, but the black line is still showing through. And that is the titanium. So I'm not going to open the second one. The second one is just white. I know there's a difference between the whites, but I'm not quite sure what they are. Keeping the pods in the same order, I just removed it from the palette to make it easier to open. Okay, next is Naples yellow and lemon yellow. I don't know if this is gonna work to do it, because there's quite a bit of separation. I thought I could salvage some of this paint, but yeah, there's too much separation, so scratch this part. I'm going to open all of these and stir it up and then do my swatching. So there will be some editing in this video after all. My apologies, my sweet friend watching this video. Oh boy, this turned into a very messy, tedious project. I did not mind the mess, but I will tell you, in opening up the pods and just trying to not contaminate, because each pod was split and I didn't want to contaminate the paints, I tried to wipe my hands as best as I could, but the paint still irritated my hands, and so after washing my hands thoroughly, I still had to apply a lot of lotion, and my hands are fine now. It's hours later, but I felt like I could not put enough lotion on my hands. It really dried out my skin. So just a little warning if you are doing this project, to maybe protect your fingers a lot better than I did. I had to stir up the pods due to the separation. There was a little bit of separation between the pigment and the binding agent. And so after stirring them up, I also used what was on the brush to just swipe over a clean page in one of my journals. This is my Canson mixed media journal, because I wanted to maybe do something with whatever was the design was of, all the swatching that I was doing. So not a traditional swatching of my swatch card that I had prepared, but I really this is my first time using this medium. I just wanted to have some fun with it. I will swatch it out eventually, but I thought I'd just use the paint that was on the brush and figure out a design within all of the mess. And also, I would, doing this again, I would definitely use a toothpick or something smaller to mix it. It would probably go over much better than the paintbrush that I'm using. Ta-da! I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but, and this, yeah, I am just going to toss these. I have all the information. This was just a bad idea. It's a nice color. I was sketching out my prayer hands for one of my previous videos. Is a pretty color too, and I love the blues. One was Prussian and one was sky blue, I think. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, if I have to just laugh at it, right? Because I have to. This may, let me just toss this, get a little baggie here. I think there was another little, yep. Okay guys, I'm gonna wash up and then we'll talk about this. And everything is really dry. The paints that I kind of just smeared on here, some is thicker than others. So I have to be really careful not to activate that layer again. But I was actually looking, you know how you can look at designs and just kind of try and figure out little pictures within. And I don't know what you see when you look at this, but here I'm seeing almost like a little bus, or not a little bus, I see a big bus, and what looks like a bird. And here, this is like a standing frog figure, if a frog was to stand on its hind legs. And yeah, I'm seeing this almost a Betty Boop face with like a fancy hat and a boa, and she's carrying something. So I'm seeing like, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go with what I'm seeing in here or I'm just going to paint over the whole thing. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so I sprayed the gouache after opening and stirring and doing all of the stuff that we did yesterday. And I'm opening my palette. And okay, so the lid is clean. Everything looks really shiny. And okay, I'm seeing a little separation over here. And how I can tell is that there's like a little yellowish, unless it's contaminated with something. Oh, you know what? I didn't stir that one. I put it back and then we removed it. I didn't stir that one. So, okay. Well, all 36 colors are right here. And I'm going to, unfortunately, I can't have this in the frame as well, but it's going to be right here. And then at least you can see me mixing it over here. And let's take out the brushes. Play around with the brushes that came with the kit. Such a nice color. Okay. So what do we do here? I'm nervous starting. Oh my gosh, why am I so nervous? Oh, I need a paper. Some paper. I want to do this as quickly as possible because I really don't want a voiceover with this. I want to be able to just chat with you. So, I'm loving this color. Great intention does not equal my time and reality. This video took me at least 2 hours to paint, and so I am now forced to speed it up and do a lot of editing just to bring you the important parts and little bits of information and my thought process through this and my experience in painting with this gouache. I'm doing a lot of mixing here and figuring out the colors because I did not do my original swatch card. And so I was not sure really even the colors and when it's gonna dry. I just wanted to get in and have some fun and paint, but I really should have taken the time to swatch my colors. But anyway, here I am extracting some designs that I'm seeing. I actually went with the Betty Boop figure and I'm painting around some of the design that I can see, and I decided she is carrying a stack of books. So here I am painting around that design. She's carrying a stack of books and she just shopped. You know, she's dressed all fancy with her boa and her hat, and she's taking her stack of books and going to the meadow where she is going to read her books. And so, hey, it's my painting and this is what I'm seeing. So Betty Boop in a meadow with some sexy legs showing here. And overall, you know, the paint, what I'm finding is some colors are very creamy and some colors were what I was expecting, kind of the jelly-like consistency. And so it was hit or miss with the different colors. With the ones that I'm finding was a little more jelly-like, it was best to mix it with a little bit of white, and this made it a little more opaque to work with. Here I'm going into the other painting, and I am going with the bus idea. The bus is kind of going through the town, and there's some buildings in the background. And yeah, that's what I'm going with. And I also kept the bird in there. And so I'm just going to put on some music for the rest of this, and we'll come back towards the end. Here I taped off the inner border just so that I could go in with some plain white gouache and clean up the borders. I'm so used to having a nice crisp outer border, just a nice white outer border, that this just looked messy with the underlayer peeking out. Also going in with the undiluted gouache, it was basically just a damp brush. It was still not enough to cover the underlayer. Then again, I don't think this is a true test of the ability of the white gouache because there was such a thick underlayer. But it does look a little cleaner, and I was also not sure how the masking tape was going to hold up, or how the paper was going to hold up under the masking tape. And I was very surprised that it did not rip the paper, so I was happy about that. My favorite part about using gouache is the fact that I can go in with a lighter color over a dark background. This is so alien to me after using watercolor for so long now. And I think I'm really going to love messing around with this gouache. And I know I have a learning curve ahead of me. This is the first time I'm using gouache exclusively to do a piece of art. So I have a lot of learning to do with this medium. But I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with it, and I can really push the limits with the ability that gouache has of going light over dark.